from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, it's a group thing. It's got a funky swing. Well, it's a group thing, a group thing. We're moving on, keeping strong. Don't you let them steer you wrong. It's a group thing. We're gonna give you what you want, just as long as you're around. It's a group thing. We're moving on, keeping strong. Don't you let them steer you wrong. It's a group thing. We're gonna give you what you want, just as long as you're around. It's a group thing. Oh yeah, people, there's really nothing to it. Let your mind rest, my friend, and do it.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. You know who this is. It's Jill Munroe, and you're locked in to KBLA Talk 1580 for your entertainment news update. And of course, it's a midweek vibe. We're getting you ready for that. Shout out to Jeanne. It's Black Music Month. So we are still highlighting, artists that you might not have at the front of your mind, but still had some jams, still had some bops. So that's a good 90s one. We love that. So you know what we are here for. We're here to get into your daily dose of headlines and trending topics. Grab your snacks, get a beverage, and relax, because tonight we have so much to get into. But before we do, first up, we have to send love and light to the family of Ananda Lewis, formerly of Teen Summit on BET. We know she was an MTV VJ, a voice of the culture, one of the first young women that we saw, if you are of a certain era, that was on TV speaking about topics that directly impacted us day to day, keeping it raw, real, and helpful. She, for a lot of people, was like that sis, that homegirl, that cousin that was smart, intelligent, but still tapped in with the culture. And we know that she has been going through a bout with breast cancer for many years now. And initially, she went and sought holistic treatments, which I so appreciate. But, sometimes we have to balance that with modern science and medicine. And unfortunately, that didn't happen soon enough in her case. And she passed away today. And I hope that she knew how beloved she was and what she meant to so many young women, and I'm sure young men growing up, just for what she represented and how she represented herself. So prayers to her son, and just, love and light all the way. All right. So, of course, we got to start with a couple of conversation starters, because that is what we do. Tonight, we are getting into so very many things. Venus and Serena Williams have a new podcast coming. We're going to get into the details of that, but it's dropping on X. Elon Musk on X. Is that a good look for them? We'll talk about it. We are also going to get into Tisha Campbell-Martin. She has revealed that she got a mommy makeover. She was looking fantastic on the BET red carpet on Sunday, and she said she feels amazing. She loved it so much so that she referred some friends to her doctor, and they're famous. So we're going to get into the details of that. We're going to talk Jeezy saying your eyes were not deceiving you. He was definitely putting the full court press on Nia Long in that interview from a couple months back. And we'll check in to see what his plans are for the future in that situation. And we're going to get into some more trending topics and headlines. First up, Chris Brown is on tour. And we know that right now he's at the international stops. CB posted a post. CB put up a post on Instagram showing himself, I can't remember what country he was in, randomly popping out by himself in the streets, telling people sometimes at night he likes to see what the city looks like and just, take it in alone by himself. Chris, I feel you, but don't do that. And especially don't tell people you're doing that because, anything can happen. And all right, let's get into the deets of Tisha really quickly. So Tisha said that she convinced Taj and Lily of SWV to consider getting mommy makeovers, saying, I convinced them to call the doctors and they wanted mommy makeovers too. And I just feel like, we should really be doing what feels good and what looks good to us. And Tisha says she feels fantastic and she's out here stepping out, new style, new body, new hair. And, I feel that. Do what makes you feel good. Within reason, right, y'all? Within reason. We appreciate it, though. When we come forward, we're going to get into these trending topics and headlines. We're going to get all up in the business with Damon Haley. We got a lot to talk about there. We're going to talk about Savannah James' new skincare line, Reframe, and get into the branding details of that and more. So stay right there. KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, call the bomb.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
Coverage varies by plan. View contract and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Do you own a 2005 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all? With the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering a low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save you thousands off costly vehicle repairs. Get your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage are included. For your free quote, call 800-689-5978. 800-689-5978.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now you could say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, of course, you know, if you want to call in during any point in this conversation, 800-920-1580. Join us. Hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm, of course, at Stiletto Jill. Check me out. Holla at your girl. Say hi. Download the app if you want to take us with you on the go. And, you know, it's already in motion. The YouTube chat. It's a special place. Get in there. Shout out to the chat. We love that. Get in there and drop the conversation. Drop in. It's always a little different maybe than what we're talking about on air, but still interesting. So join that. Okay, so listen. It's Wednesday. So, you know, we are getting all up in the business with entrepreneur, strategist, author, co-owner of Slay Hair and Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood and Torrance, Mr. Damon Haley. Welcome in, Damon. Happy Wednesday. How are you today?
Happy Wednesday to you and everybody listening.
I love that you have theme music. I say that all the time, but it's a vibe, right?
It's a vibe.
It feels like a real intro. That's what we're going for. So we're going to get, you know, all up in the business with Venus and Serena Williams. So they announced a new podcast today. And, of course, we love Venus and Serena. So we are excited to see them having conversation, presenting themselves to the world, being vulnerable, stepping out from behind the scenes, right? They are our GOATs in tennis, as far as I'm concerned. And it drops in August. The press release says this show will feature visionaries, creators, and rule breakers passionate about shattering the status quo, along with the sisters' signature chemistry and playful banter, right? And it is exclusively video-based, available on X, and then the audio-only version will be available anywhere you can find your podcast. Now, this is where it gets tricky for a lot of people. Elon Musk X, it's not Twitter anymore. And we know X has faced declining revenue, multiple rounds of layoffs, controversy around Musk's public statements and positioning and, you know, what he may or may not be doing with our personal data. We don't know. You know, his moderation policies, just a bunch of things, right? Brands even paused spending on X. I'm not sure if that has come back or swung back around at this time. And, you know, high-profile talents like Eli Lilly and Apple and Disney have all distanced themselves from advertising on there. So is this a smart move for the Williams sisters, or is this a potential brand risk given X and the current reputation it has, as well as Elon Musk and where he is currently positioned as far as, you know, the world and some of the statements?
Yeah, I think with one, I'm excited because I haven't seen those two ladies talking. There's something magical about their sisterhood. So I'm really looking forward to hearing them talk as women, you know, to other people's. And they are trailblazers and all that. So everything kind of fits. The only thing that doesn't fit is the placement of it on X. I really been thinking about it today, and I can't really figure out why they would choose that platform. I'm just uncertain. There's so many other platforms to utilize, even if Elon Musk didn't own it. Just the direction in which that's going, the pure facts of it, you know, revenues being pulled out, ad dollars being pulled out. It's just not hot anymore, for one. So that's one thing. And then just where they stand, just thinking about, you know, King Richard and all of that, and where Musk stands, it just seems kind of weird and unstrategic for me. And will they take a brand hit? A little, but not a lot. It'll be questions, like the same questions that I'm still having and searching for. But I think that they've done so much, and they mean so much to us. It won't be a massive brand hit just because they're just on one platform, because you'll hear them on other platforms. But it does beg the question of why.
I mean, the thing that I found interesting, I agree with you, why this platform, especially considering where the platform itself is currently and the relevance that it sort of no longer has.
Right.
I also wonder who the target audience is for the podcast, because I, like you, would love to hear the conversations that they have, you know, them speaking with each other through the lens of these topics, these creators, these architects of, you know, whatever creative space we're talking about, whomever is going to be a guest. But video is so key at this current time. And for video to only exclusively be available from X, even though the audio is available, the clips that will go viral will be those from X. And I understand that's the plan. Khloe Kardashian has a podcast currently on X, but we also saw what the fallout was between Don Lemon and Elon when he was initially launching his podcast on X, and that went away rather quickly. So I just wonder the target, the positioning, and who they believe this podcast is for. Because I just wonder, are they on X?
Well, they're global icons, and they've risen to a status that a lot of people are listening to them. And so, you know, we talk Don Lemon, we talk Khloe, we talk, you know, the Williams sisters. It could make sense, and somebody in their business, like that runs their family office, or somebody who's running their business, can make it make sense to them. But I think for many of us, it doesn't make sense. But I think you're absolutely right. The target is the key, and maybe they're trying to reach a different target than we're anticipating. That would be the only reason.
Right. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how this rolls out. We have a couple of months. Like I said, they didn't give a specific date in August, but it is coming in August. So I'm curious for the conversations and to see what develops with that. All right, so now I think this topic is interesting. We've been talking LA rap, LA rappers, who deserves to be on this list. And on Sunday, I attended the ASCAP Rhythm and Blues Honors Ceremony. And I talked to several people on the red carpet, but one in particular was a rapper named 310 Babii. He's from LA. He wasn't featured on the Complex list of the top 100 rappers, but he was featured on the Games list. Okay. I don't remember where he placed on that list, but he's 19 years old. If I didn't say that, he's 19. All right. And I asked him what he felt about the list and his thoughts on rap and positioning. And his response surprised me a bit. It should be noted that not me, others. He was calling other journalists on the carpet auntie and unk and so forth, you know, playfully, but I did not get that treatment, just making that clear. But I thought it was an interesting perspective about mentorship and what the younger generation thinks looking up, especially considering that in the grand scheme of things, hip hop just turned 50. And as a genre, we are just now seeing in the past few years what older hip hop acts look like. It's a new thing. When hip hop first started, you were out of the game by the time you were 30. And so we'll check out what he had to say, and then we'll talk to DH about this. There's been some LA lists that have come out. I saw you on the list. What are your thoughts on them, and how do you feel about different positionings, yourself or others? Do you think that they're an accurate portrayal? Do you think it's too much?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I only saw me on one list, but I was the only kid on there under than 35. So to see that, it's a blessing all jokes aside though, it's motivating to be acknowledged on any level. But it's only my second year in this. We got so much time. The older guys been rapping for 30 years. They're tired. Look, the consumer is tired of them. We need 310. We need something fresh. We need a reset.
We do need something fresh. Why you say they're tired though? Old people can have stuff too.
No, they can too, but I think like once you're 45, you should stop dropping and sign somebody else. It's a lot of people from LA, no names, that are still dropping music, but go sign somebody, bro.
That's interesting. So you feel like there's a point in the career where you should kind of put down being in front of the mic and step behind the scenes and nurture the other talent. Can you do both?
I feel like you can do both. Lil Wayne did that. Imagine this, right? Usually when artists sign artists, they make sure that the artist they sign isn't bigger than them. Drake's bigger than Lil Wayne.
So you don't feel that there's any LA rappers that have done that have put on, you don't think like, or Drake did it 30 years ago. I mean, not Drake, excuse me, Dre did it 30 years ago and it's too long.
I feel like there's a little bit of it, but I feel like nobody's done it and it's actually worked. Everybody that maybe signed the artist got a hit and it was cool for the era, but like I can't name you any guys that like got put on by any LA artists and they're still here.
Well, first of all, he's wrong about that because Snoop Dogg, The Game, who's put on by 50 and by proxy Dre. There's a couple, so I don't know if that statement is actually true, but he's 19 years old. He may not be fully aware of all the details of how this came together. But do you feel like older rappers should step back? Because I feel like if they still have fans in their age range that want to hear the music, why should they be deprived of it? Just like he's on the carpet calling people auntie and unk, you know what I'm saying? They may not be in for Splash City. That's the single that he had that came out. That music's not for them. And you said the consumer's tired. Depends on what consumer you are discussing. But I want to hear your thoughts, Damon. And then Andy, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, and he young, for sure. He talking like a 19-year-old. 45 isn't old. Many years ago, I worked on the Hip Hop Honors. And one of the most fascinating things I saw was Big Daddy Kane performing. And
Scoop and Scrap Lover.
Oh, yeah. And he did the split and they pulled him up. I was like, dang, and you have stuff like that. And I think, one, you're right. We're still evolving. We just turned 50. So we don't know what being old and being a rapper is. But we are seeing it. We're seeing that even us that still want to party, still want to zip us back to the 20s with that music, we still want to hear them. We still want to go to Hollywood Bowl and enjoy it a different way. So he's absolutely wrong that it should be an age limit. If you're still hot and you want to do it and your fans love you, continue to do it. You might not do your whole library. You might only got like 4 good songs in you before you get tired or something like that. But let's have it. Let's do something at the Forum with 20 old acts. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to party too. And he'll get his chance to, if he is blessed to be doing it 30 years, he'll get his chance to be 50 and still, doing this thing. But music doesn't have like that organization that say sports does, where you have the Players Association and stuff like that. You have SAG-AFTRA, and all that, but it's very lightweight. But it's just tough to be put on like that unless you organize, and we just don't organize. Like, why wouldn't it seems like the old school would say, okay, we're going to pick the 5 best and make sure that they're doing it the right way or whatever, or something like that.
I feel like they have, though, in recent years, because I feel that with R&B and hip-hop, there was a time period where our legacy acts didn't get to tour like bands like U2 and the Rolling Stones that tour forever and ever and ever, whether they have new music or not. And I think we've seen a resurgence of that, especially since the pandemic, and Versus, I think, got a lot of people craving to see these legacy acts, see them together. I think that, coming up, I believe like Silk and Jagged Edge and somebody else, Drew Hill, are on the tour, and Keith Sweat and some people. And I think that is nice that we can see our legends, much like we have seen white audiences do with the music of their youth forever and ever and ever. And with that, I believe there's still room for new artists to get in there and make the wiggle and do their thing. Music doesn't just have to be for the youth. We've evolved a lot, and technology has helped with that.
And I see, you know the type of work my wife does, and the people she services. There's always an old act at this party, whether it's flying them to Italy, Spain, or wherever. There's always the old act, and it is the young act. So there's always a mix, so to speak. So there's a place for it. I just think, and everybody can't pull someone up. Dre can because he's a producer. I think Game, the way he's done it, he seems like a guy like that. But some people just want to be artists and keep it moving. So he'll figure it out. I think that 310 Baby.
Yeah.
310 Baby. It's kind of sound like DH Baby. But he'll figure it out. But he's just young, and somebody will put their arms around him and cuddle him if he's that type of guy. But he can't be calling people uncle and auntie when they don't want to be called that. And I'm glad he didn't hit you. Did he try to get your number or something?
No. We just had a cool little conversation. I mean,
because he seemed real friendly. He
was vintage. He respected the vintage thing. I don't think he had no plans on that. He just didn't disrespect me and hit me with the auntie. Andy, really quick, and then we gonna come back to you because I want to hear what you have to say.
It kills me. I don't see the disrespect with the whole auntie and uncle situation. These are some youngsters. It's all respect at the end of the day. I know as the recipient, if you're not feeling like you auntie and uncle or whatnot, I get that. But come on, it's respect. It's like, sir, it's, miss, madam. Respect. Come on, respect. Do you want them calling you Jill?
Yeah, in that moment, because we are peers in this moment, because you are an artist discussing your win and your project. This isn't like you're coming to my home and you're my kid's friend or something like that. Then it would be Miss Jill.
Excuse him for feeling young.
No, that's cool. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get more into this topic, plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Touch the sky. Your body's moving left to right. You're grooving to the morning light.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A body believed to be a young black child, 2-year-old Munroe Williams, was found in the East River in New York near the Whitestone Bridge. His father, now a person of interest, refused to say where the boy was and is being held without bail.
This was a troubling series of events.
Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams has weighed in as the NYPD and family had searched for days. Black U.S. Rep. LaMonica McIver has been federally indicted for allegedly assaulting officers during an incident at a Newark ICE detention center. She's accused of interfering as agents tried to arrest Black Mayor Ras Baraka. And survivors of the deadly Sapelo Island dock collapse in Georgia are suing the company that built it. 7 people died and nearly 40 fell into the water during a Gullah Geechee celebration last October. Black civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing several victims' families. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Slowing on the 210 in Pasadena. Eastbound delays from the 134 heavy to Azusa. Tough in South LA. This is the 110 making your way northbound. I'm seeing delays off of the 105. And it's pretty crowded ahead to just past Firestone. The southbound side of the 110 loads up from the 10 all the way back to the scene there right at Firestone. Looks like no crashes have been reported here, but there might be some type of activity that everyone's slowing down to take a look at. Commerce on the 5 southbound, delays from the 710. Looking a lot better by the time you make your way to Rosemead Boulevard.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the type of
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
1 year from today, the 2026 Soccer World Cup is scheduled to jump off here in Los Angeles. People from around the world will be in LA for at least a month for one of the premier events in all of sports. With LA facing turmoil from immigration protests and soldiers on the streets, what will LA look like a year from now? Will people from so many countries feel comfortable coming to the U.S.? LA has a year to get ready for a major sporting event and a major economic windfall. Will that be enough time for LA to move past the trauma in recent days and be the positive destination World Cup officials are hoping for? The New York Knicks are having a hard time with their process to hire a new coach. After firing Tom Thibodeau 2 weeks ago, they have been denied permission to talk with 3 coaches: Jason Kidd at Dallas, Ime Udoka at Houston, and Chris Finch at Minnesota. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
They say I left the hood, but I got it on my back. Ex got it, yeah, I got it on my back. Took a trip out of town, went and got him, brought him back. Mr. El Chapo on the ground, now I'm back.
X no, got it on my back. X no, got it on my back. Who wanna load? Got them in the back. We sell them whole and you can't return them back.
Damn, ball head, hawk but my main thing like to eat with chopsticks. I can whip a dream with a fork.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Andy, who's this? Who we vibing to?
Jill.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know I stay on topic, homie.
That's 310, baby?
No, this is not 310, baby.
Okay, who is this?
Somebody.
Jeezy.
Yeah, come on.
Why am I not thinking it's
You don't know his voice?
Jeezy. I do, but I was lost for a second because this is new Jeezy. You know?
Some years ago.
If you would have paid me, some Thug Motivation 101, I know every track top to back.
You right.
On that one.
This was a banger, though. This was off of the Recession 2.
Okay.
Which dropped a couple years ago. This was featuring Yo Gotti.
Shout out to Young Jeezy. Well, is it just Jeezy now? I forgot. This
It is
more
just
Young
Jeezy.
That's the problem when you put those age-defying markers in your name. Then you got to change it, like, Bow Wow. How long did we call him Lil Bow Wow?
A while. And then we called him Bow Wow.
We did.
And then he was like, I'm Shad Moss.
And we didn't pay any attention to that. He's still
Not
Bow
at
Wow.
all.
Yeah. Andy, I wanted to ask you. Now,
Yes,
you heard
ma'am.
310 Baby say that he wasn't saying any names of LA rappers that need to put down the mic.
Right.
Any thoughts on who he could be referencing?
You know, when you mentioned how you was going to discuss this today, I felt like I was going to feel like you and Damon. After listening to the clip, I think the young man has a point. And hear me out.
Okay.
I think for a long, long, long time here in Los Angeles, there was always this thing about, can you make it without Dre? Right? When Nipsey came in the game, he talked about it several times. I made it in the game without a cosign from Dre. And I think in that sense, that was an accomplishment. We talk about gatekeepers in certain industries. And, I'm not a rapper or anything like that, but I know some people who've rapped in the game. And some of these people, they've talked about, the West Coast, hate to say it, it's low-key a lot of haters in the game. Some of our elders are in competition with some of the up-and-coming cats. Sometimes they're stealing from the young cats or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why, it was a big thing for Nipsey. And I think that's why, a lot of people, he was so beloved in that regard or whatnot. And that's why the pop-up with Kendrick was such a big deal, because I think Kendrick kind of squashed the old order of how politics in LA hip-hop was. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at, when he gave the example of a Lil Wayne is still popping in people's eyes.
Right.
But this man done created himself a legacy to the point where he can drop that mid Carter 6 album, no disrespect.
And he still has Drake and Nicki.
And he still got Drake and Nicki under his bag. You know what I'm saying? So, you guys were talking about, like, there's no order or like a union or whatnot. Well, wasn't what's his name, Jay Prince and Irv Gotti trying to do something like that?
Well, there is something. There is like the hip hop coalition or whatever, like, which part of what they do is they extend health benefits for life. I think Rakim and I can't remember who the other individual was that received the first honorarium for that, and whatever the package and finances that they supply to go along with that. So, and there was conversation during the SAG strikes about music and some of the things that have happened as we've been talking about songwriter credits and album deals and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like the idea that the 40 plus consumer isn't in existence and isn't there for these artists, for them, just like the youth is there for them, and they can carve their own space. Yeah. Nobody's stopping them. We've had people flow in and out, Ty Dolla $ign, Sage the Gemini at one point. YG came up. He wasn't necessarily connected to anyone and things of that nature. So indeed. I think that it also sounds like a little hate on the youth side too. Like, Owen, get out the way. Make room, baby. We here.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta respect the energy of a young teenager.
Facts.
Coming into adulthood, just looking at it like, yo, it's my time. Like, no disrespect to Snoop Dogg. Like, damn, we didn't seen you for 30 years. I want some time to Give me some time to shine. Put me on.
But isn't Snoop doing that with Death Row Records and October London and whomever else is on there? Didn't Snoop put out the East Siders in his time frame? I just think the notion that it doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody is meant to be a label executive or to A&R the next person and grow. You know, Tiana Taylor as a creative director for Lotto and all of these others, but still has enough originality and creativity for herself to create something. That's not everybody's bag.
I'm going to just say maybe anecdotally, in his experiences, he's feeling like he's not, getting the love from the elders.
I can see that. But I can't say that I know his catalog to know if maybe, if the love is just for the youth. Like, I understand some things are not for me, and I am not going to be a consumer of it, but that does not inherently mean that it is a bad thing or is not good. It just means not for me.
I bet you there's a 19-year-old broadcaster that's trying to break up in here, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure there is.
You feel
like Jill ain't
not saying you, right?
No, I'm just saying. Listen, I know somebody's like, why is she still talking? What?
Well, let me hit 3 quickies. One, there is always some young person waiting to unseat an old person.
Facts.
So we know that. That's just a given.
Facts.
And 20 years from now, it'll be the same thing. Secondly, if you're young and you're trying to come up, if you want some, get some. If you're bad enough, well, take some.
Right.
On the real. And so.
Damn, Damon, so we going gangster? Is that
like Denzel said, I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you young and you want some, get some. If you bad enough, we'll take some. Because respect, and the last thing I'll say is respect ain't just given, it's earned.
Facts.
So it's something about, I don't know why, from what I've known of Dre and Snoop, they seem cool. Why they wouldn't embrace. They don't appear to me to be haters, because you talk about super rich people, so usually those ain't the haters, And then Jill, you was talking about the streaming stuff. There's no more record label. There's no more camaraderie. There's no more label mates. So you don't have this clique to really grow like they had
a
down
TDE.
Yeah, that so that kind of has a lot to do with that loner mentality as well. So. But what old boy needs is a hug.
Maybe. When we come forward, we're going to get into Nia Long and Jeezy. We're going to get into Savannah James, Reframe, her extensive beauty line, and we have a call from Eric and Carson. Eric always comes in and has the interesting commentary. Shout out to him. We're going to get to all of that on the other side.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at PCCfordena.com.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June the 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we cut the ribbon on the brand new Enel Woods Park at 8703 South McKinley Avenue. Thanks to a generous donation from Heal the Bay, the park features smart irrigation, stormwater capture systems, and space for local wildlife to thrive. And we've built a walking trail, picnic areas, native landscaping, and quiet spaces for families to gather, relax, and connect. This is part of a much larger effort to expand green spaces across South LA with 3 new parks in the works, a first-of-its-kind community center coming soon, and plans to connect it all through the South LA Greenway. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 14th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and come celebrate a greener, stronger South LA at NL Woods Park. I'm also pleased to sponsor the Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium, moderated by Tavis Smiley, live on C-SPAN, Wednesday, June the 18th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Just a reminder to sign up right away at the KBLA1580.com website to join me, Mayor Karen Bass, Congresswoman Sidney Cumberland Dove, Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, Dr. Cornel West, former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., the Sierra Club's Ben Jealous, and other black influencers in the climate and health fields as we continue to amplify the connection between climate and poor health outcomes for our people. Thank you for listening. I'm Councilman Curran Price.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome in. It's Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And, we're here with your entertainment news update. We got a phone call. Eric from Carson. Eric, welcome in. How are you this evening? What's on your mind?
Hey, Jill. How you doing?
I'm great.
I just wanted to say real quick that I agree with you and Damon and disagree with Andy on this youth thing and this 310 baby. When I was young, I'm 46, and I don't look my age. I'm not fat. I'm not gray. And so on my part-time job, this dude was like, "What's up, OG?" I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" So youth now think that their age is like money. And when I was younger, it was like you wanted to be older. And so I think that's a disconnect. I don't want to be called uncle, and I don't want to be called OG. I want to be called Eric.
I know that's right. Andy.
Hold on. I'm kind of like flabbergasted. Like how old do you got to be called uncle? Do you not want to be called uncle or auntie at all? Period. Just call me Mr. such and such or whatnot. I mean,
is your parent my sister or brother?
I mean,
That's
if my mom wants to call you, hey sis, is that a problem?
No, it's not. But for too long,
we call each other bros. What's up, bro?
Right. Different connotation. For too long, unc and auntie, those were used as subtle disses, for someone that may not be that old, but look whack, look out of touch, look like they don't have it pulled together. People were not complimenting you saying, "Oh, she dressed like an auntie." That's not a compliment.
Okay, so Shannon Sharp, are we disrespecting him by calling him Unc? Should Snoop Dogg not call young people
Snoop
nephew?
Snoop called himself Unc and spread that because he wanted to take on that OG persona. Mm-hmm. And two, Andy, don't act like you don't know. It's not a difference between a man being called Unc and the respect that comes along with it and someone calling a woman auntie. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me be clear with this. Someone you are attracted to or someone you deem as attractive or lively, you're not calling them aunt.
Man, there's some fine aunties out there.
There are, but
trust
just
me,
by the
them
fact
youngsters,
of you saying,
them nephews looking at them aunties.
They probably are.
No, that's another acronym that they use for that.
I don't know.
Not
Listen,
auntie, they use something else.
Thanks for your call, Eric. We appreciate you as always. So really quickly, let's hear what Jeezy had to say. Like, we all knew what was going down when we saw the video, but Jeezy's just confirming it. Okay, we get into it.
And he didn't call Nia auntie.
And he damn sure didn't call Nia auntie. And Nia is 54 years old. Bang, bang.
How did you feel when the internet said you was trying to holler at Nia Long by any means necessary?
They wasn't lying. They was not lying.
Right. You said, really? Don't cheat. Really?
But I
don't know.
Hold on.
She said, really? He said,
but what I went was real men. I never cheated.
Right.
Not like that. No, I don't cheat. That's,
what do you mean not like that?
I'm saying like that's low hanging fruit. If I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Mm-hmm. We ain't got to be married. Like I'm just not a cheater. That's like I'm not gonna cheat my friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That ain't in my blood.
That's real.
But when you say I was trying to holler, yeah, I was. But I had to be respectful because I was still, finalizing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It was hard. It was tough. Staying focused.
They gonna link you with everybody now. Right. They gonna link you with everybody. I seen them link you with Cynthia Bailey the other day when you did that.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
They sure did.
We love Cynthia, man. Shout out to Cynthia. That's a homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other one?
Yeah. Everything is finalized.
I just said the other one.
Okay. You got to spin the block?
Would you spin the block on that real quick?
On who?
I mean, on the other one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, everything is finalized. We good
I'm going to press
now?
park. I'm going to hit the park button. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to play about that.
Oh, so you said you might see her at some of these shows?
I mean, listen.
The
She's invited.
Tour.
She's invited.
I know she has a beautiful black dress. She's definitely invited.
There you go.
Nia Long! Shout out to Jeezy for making it plain and clear you weren't seeing things. He definitely was shooting his shot, and I'm not mad at it. So big ups to them for that. All right, let's get into the Savannah James story. Savannah has launched a skincare line, a high-end skincare line, it should be noted, starting with 3 products only. She does have plans to add palette and color later on down the line, but she said she wanted her focus to be skin. It is currently in a study with Harvard University's chemistry department as far as, working on all skin types and what it helps. There's a pigment processor brightening serum, that's $115. Compression complex sculpting moisturizer, $95. And a Siduati, I don't know what this word is. We're going to circle back on that because the print is kind of small and I'm going to jack it up. But this overnight collagen moisturizer, it's $135. So, DH, what do you think about that? We've seen a lot of celebrity skincare brands, makeup lines, hair lines. Savannah has stepped out. She also has the podcast, Everybody's Crazy. She has a community with Let It Break. How do you feel about her taking this position at this point? And do you think that it is going to take off?
I love Savannah, in an uncle way, I would say. And I love Savannah, and I'm glad she's doing what she's doing because I knew her a lot in her 20s as a young girl when I worked with, closer to Nike and LeBron. I love what she's doing. I think that she's getting out there. I'm happy to see it. I wish I would have seen it earlier, but it's the perfect time is right now. And we just saw Haley sell hers for $1 billion.
Right.
She only had 9 products, and so I know the game very well. So with her popularity, I think she's tiptoeing the right way, making sure that she's doing stuff that works. The collagen overnight, that's an interesting product because I've looked at that. Diana's looked at that too. So I love it. I think that she'll sell. It is high end. That's the only, her podcast and all that kind of stuff is lower end,
targeted for a different type of woman, perhaps.
Yeah. So that would be my only concern if I'm looking at it like that. But love it. Grow it. It gives her something to do with her daughter. Shows her boys about product. It's just a different evolution of who she is.
And I mean, she said that what the inspiration for this was, besides loving, skincare and beauty products and all of that, was her daughter coming to her and saying, I want to be just like you, Mommy, when I grow up. And that Savannah realized she didn't know what that was and what that looked like being a young mother, and obviously being encompassed in such, one of the greatest sportsmen of any generation, really. But, being in, I won't call it a shadow, but being in that halo of that is probably hard to find yourself and take steps, especially she was 17, 18 years old when she was thrust into this lifestyle. So I'm really excited for her.
Yeah, and she's always been talented. I mean, I have some fond memories of her as a young person. I always thought she was uber talented. It doesn't surprise me that LeBron has accomplished all that he does and credits her. And what the young lady's seeing is a mother that's strong, that's managing the family and all that kind of stuff. She doesn't see a businesswoman. And so it's great that Savannah's exposing her to who she is outside of, say, being a mom, being a wife, and all that cool stuff. And it's great. A mother-daughter journey, because I see a mother-daughter journey every day in beauty between, you know, Diane and Ryan. So I think it's a beautiful thing.
Shout out to Diane Valentine. You know she's one of my favorites. All right, listen.
We need to sell ours for $1 billion if anybody want to buy.
Listen, I know that's right. Yeah. Thank you guys for locking in as you do each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Damon Haley, DH Baby. Tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, I'm simple. Damon Haley, DamonHaley, no uncle.
Shout out to DH Baby. And, you know, this has been your front row seat to the culture. No matter what generation you're in. Thank you guys for locking in. Make sure you are back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. because, of course, we got some great stories and I have some good interviews coming up this week, too. So I'll tap you in with that, all of that and more. Have a good evening. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. You know, he's hitting you in the head with those truth bombs, as he always does. Enjoy your night, y'all.
Yeah, we ain't cuffin'. Finna take this little chick, every man ain't on nothing. But get pound town, tryna go to Soul City. Your chick turned up, she said, can you come and get me? Like what? Okay, let's get it. I just messed up the whole program. I beat her off the wall, knocked her down, get nasty on cam. She know I love her right, all night, alright. Turning off the lights, I'm beating like a mic. Tell her don't run from this pipe. Let me see you run it up, go ahead, shake some. Your chick going down, she just put my chains on. Got her going crazy, legs shaking, watch her move. Told her you gotta run it up, not the one who made the rules. Left, right, let me see you do it. Left, do it, right, do it. Left, do it, right, do it. Left, do it, right, do it. Run it up, go stupid, run it up. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Go ahead, run it up. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Run it up.
Blue face, baby. 2, 1 me, but it's enough. Bought a butt for my butt. Left, right. Good. I put more hot dog in these buns than a hot dog ever been in a bun. Bum. Let me see you do the woody woo. I'm in the club with this ice. Booty hoo, blue face, schoolyard crib, who is you? You and you. Follow me, you gon' make it to the dressing room. Take that, oh baby, do what you do. Do it. I'm a crip, she blew it. Everything on me brand new, you knew it. I put more nuts and guts than up in the gut.